So, you like music?
No, something's wrong with me, Babu.
इस घर में एक गाने वाली नहीं रह सकती।
Hi guys, welcome to IndianExpress.com. How are you?
Thank you. We are good.
You know, what a beautiful, loving film that you have made, and I really wish that more people watch it whenever it lands. And congratulations already.
Thank you so much.
You know, Anvitaa, I'd like to begin. Can you describe the stories that you tell as a director? I believe in one of the events you had said that your stories are like fairy tales with claws. Can you sort of describe?
Yes. No, that's exactly it. It's actually fairy tales of old were cautionary tales, and they were frightening, they were bleak, they were relentless. They weren't the running through the daisies kind of. And regardless of how and where I set the story, like Bulbul was very obviously a fabulesque tale.
Yeah.
Qala isn't, but that it is also a cautionary tale, and it is bleak and it is relentless, and hopefully emotionally engaging, and it's saying a lot, but I've clothed it in pretty clothes like fairy tales are. Clothed it in a fairy tale.
Yeah.
In that sense, it is. In one sense, it is Rapunzel.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it is that. So.
Anvita, I believe you wrote Qala much before Bulbul happened?
No, actually, immediately after Bulbul.
Okay.
So Bulbul, I
the
wrote
idea had stayed with you though for longer, is that correct?
It has stayed with me for very long, but I actually put it on paper in 2013. So a year after I wrote Bulbul.
Can you trace for us the origin of Qala? Where exactly did the sort of film or the idea originate?
The feeling that I wanted to talk about, the cautionary bits that I wanted to talk about, had been there with me for many years. And somewhere, whenever there was a fairy tale involving mothers and daughters like Rapunzel, I would be, or even for that matter, Bertha from Jane Eyre. The mad woman in the attic.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's the mad woman in the attic? It's us. It's our mind.
Yeah.
And if people don't recognize it, and like you said, intervene, if there's no intervention, how heartbreaking it can be, and how lonely it can be. So whether it's in your relationships or in your your work life or anything, you are lonely, and you don't have a barometer to figure out whether you're on the right path. So those kind of things were there, and I wanted to write about it. And so it would come float in and out of my, sometimes when you see, when you walk through green leafy places like the kinds that I've grown up in, so one is those big cobwebs which are very frightening, but sometimes they have broken apart and they just come in front of your eyes. You just see it gleam in the sunlight for a bit, and then you can't see it anymore. So the story would come and go like that, You just see it like a cobweb lit by the sunlight, and then it would just go away.
Wow.
And almost like as if you concentrate on it and it'll just shimmer out of existence.
Tripti, I believe this is your fourth film.
This is my fourth film, yeah.
And what a challenging role to sort of take up, because it is so physical, it's so mental, it's so emotional. At no point, though, did it feel like you were acting or you were sort of being someone who you're not. It really felt very strikingly real, to a point that I think felt like just sort of holding you and giving you a hug because you were shivering. What is it like to work with Anvitaa at such an early stage of your career, and to sort of give performances like Bulbul and now Qala, which are obviously very demanding?
It feels amazing. I mean, I feel I'm truly blessed that I'm getting to play these kind of characters, because, there are hardly any films that are made where, you as an actress are asked to do so much in a film. And it is truly special. And I'm glad that it happened now than later in my life, because I think this is the time where I will have to, learn a lot of things as an actor and as a human being as well. And, better sooner than later.
Swastika, you have done such remarkable work in your career. Is it sort of difficult to get surprised still? And even for a character like this, which I think is so, it's certainly one of your best so far. Does it get difficult to be surprised with characters when they're offered to you?
I'm very hungry as an actor, very greedy as well. And I really want to do things that make me feel uncomfortable. Because I think that is the only way you can grow. If you're working for too long and you have like worked in all medium and you've experimented so many things with your roles and your characters and your look and hair and makeup and clothes, you always want to do something that makes you uncomfortable and really, taps those kind of things inside you that you usually don't meet often.
Yeah.
Like when I was playing Urmila and Anvitaa made us do this rehearsal very nicely when we were not on set, that whenever I was discussing the film with her, I was always talking as I am Urmila. Like I was always saying, no, when I met Qala or when I met Jagan or when I went to Kolkata or I went back to my home in the mountains, I never referred to when Urmila did this and Urmila did that. So it was just me.
To speak as in third person, like she.
So
it has to be always
it was always me and I. I also get to meet that inner self of mine whom I don't meet very often. Because I need to, remember my weaknesses, my vulnerability, what makes me feel helpless and miserable. We always have to bring in some experience of our own lives also in the character. It's not all, superficial and we are just acting or, pretending.
Yeah. Babil, you glided in Qala after a very emotionally turbulent personal space. Did the remains of it in any which way carry in Qala? Like, was there any sort of influence because of that space?
Yeah, of course. I was in a very vulnerable space, and I think that's what Anvitaa did so cleverly. Anyway, so when we were building the character, because you hear about these things, right? Building the character, emotional memory, but so the approach of taking your earliest memories, of taking your memories, and then building the character's life before the first day of the script, of the narrative story. I think that practical way of weaving your life and the character's life together, then your pain and the character's pain becomes very similar, like relatable.
Yeah.
You can empathize in a much more effective and efficient way. So if you are going through something, with that method and with her way, you can, or the first time I'd experienced something like that, you can take or pull from your life and what you're going through and be able to use it for the character. And I was lucky that I might spoil something.
So don't.
But in the most general way, I have discussed with you.